Coming up on the Empowered Woman podcast.
Hey, Suzanne, I've heard that you're really good with helping people with money goals. Not
Mhm.
really. I focus on trauma. I said, it's August 21st. She goes, let's go. I said, all right, let's
Mhm.
go. 110 days later, Sarah reached $1,009,000.
Welcome to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on visibility strategies for women entrepreneurs. If you want to get empowered to be seen, stand out on social media, stages, TV, and more to make an impact with your voice and business, you're in the right place. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Marcia Spurk, and I'm your host, professional singer and visibility strategist. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode. Hi, Suzanne. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to share you with my audience. Why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
My name is Suzanne Longstreet, and I am known as the Millionaire Maker. I've turned that into the Millionaire Activator because I believe that we all have a millionaire gene inside of us, and I help people find it and get it out into the world. Underneath that, I'm a neuro-linguistic programming coach or an NLP coach and master hypnotherapist. And my goal is to help women stop shrinking, start speaking up louder, start sharing their message in the world so they can make the money that they want to, have the freedom that they desire, and make a bigger difference in the world.
I love that so much, and we have so much to unpack. And I love the shift from millionaire maker to millionaire activator. We'll definitely have to talk about that. But tell us, where did all this come from? How did you get to become the one that helps people or women become millionaires or activate the millionaire inside?
Yeah, it's a lot of words. It's interesting because I started off as in human resources in corporate and training and human resources, and I really loved the work that I was doing and helping people to communicate better and to be better managers and all of that. So that was great. And then I started off. I thought, you know what? I was let go twice from corporate within 18 months, and I went, all right, I need to figure something else out. I was in my 40s. I want to become a coach. So I took some coaching designations. I thought, this is it. Well, one thing about taking these lovely designations is they don't teach you how to actually be an entrepreneur and go and get clients and all of that. So I had to do learning of how to be an entrepreneur, how to go get clients, how to sell myself on a regular basis. Like it was a great way to have personal development. And every single thing that ever happened to you in your lifetime is amplified as you're trying to express yourself, get out there, market yourself more, be more visible. And of course, all of the negative things were coming in. And it was stopping me in my tracks, stopping. And so I thought, I've got to figure this out. Otherwise, I remember turning to my husband one day and I said, it was not a good moment. And I said, it was August 31st. 2012. And I said, I'm not able to figure this out. If I can't figure it out, I don't think I want to be here anymore. He goes, what do you mean, in this house? And I said, no, honey, I meant here. It was a low moment, I have to tell you, really low. And he goes, okay, well, what can you do? He's my biggest champion, my biggest supporter. He goes, and I said, you know what? I'm going to call Eileen. He goes, call Eileen. So I called Eileen the next day and I said, hey, I've been waiting all summer for you to send me clients because you said you would. She goes, oh, I completely forgot about you. That day, she gifted me with 4 clients. So I was like, okay. So I took action out of fear and desperation, not the best place to take it. And then for the next 3 years, I had a viable business because Eileen was helping me. She was going out and getting clients and getting me. I was lovely, the best, everything we want, right? And yeah. And then 2014, I recognized that I was sabotaging my business. I was sabotaging referral partners. I was sabotaging my relationships with other people. People weren't doing it right. So I would beat, like mentally, verbally beat them up, tell them they weren't doing it right. This is terrible. And my business imploded. 3 clients fired me in one day.
Wow.
Okay. So I turned to my husband. I got to figure something out. I'm doing something. I'm sabotaging my business, my life, our life.
Yeah.
He goes, okay. And I found I discovered this neuro-linguistic programming training. So I went for the weekend and I came home and I said, honey, I'd really like to take this course. He goes, you might as well. You don't have any clients anyways. Thanks for your support, honey. I took the course. I noticed that I was starting to shift. I took the next course. I was shifting even more. It was discovered by the trainers that I was running something called post-traumatic stress disorder because of previous abusive relationships I had had a previous marriage. And I went, oh, great. So now I had the tools and the people that could help me clear that. And then what was happening with me is as I took the training and I cleared what was not serving me, my past, my traumas, the negative emotions, the imposter syndrome, all of the stuff that was stopping me, I noticed I was different. People were noticing I was different. I was showing up more relaxed, calmer, kinder, more compassionate. And so I started to help people. And so I started to market myself, you're going to love this, as a trauma coach. Because what's wrong with that? Guess what? Ain't nobody wants to talk about their trauma.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. And they're like, I don't have trauma. So I'm like, all right, well, that's not it. I'll do invisible to invincible. Yeah, that's good. And then they're like, well, I'm not invisible. All right, okay. That's not working. So I hired a coach and I went into her program and I started to chat with all these lovely women and they're saying, you do what now? Can you help me with my past trauma? I said, yes, I can help you with your past trauma. So I started to work with all these women in this wonderful coaching group. It was lovely. And they were like, they were getting results, but they weren't just clearing their past traumas. What they were noticing is that when they cleared the negative emotions, the negative events from the past, the limiting decisions and beliefs, they were showing up differently. And when they were showing up differently and speaking up differently, you know what happened? They started to ask for more money because they believed in their worth. And so fast forward a couple more years, it's now 2021, and I had a new client come to me. Her name was Sarah, and she said, hey, Suzanne, I've heard that you're really good with helping people with money goals. I'm like, not really. I focus on trauma. She goes, yeah, I've worked on trauma. I need help with money goals. I want to get I made $300,000 in my business last year. I want to get to $1 million this year. I said, it's August 21st. She goes, let's go. I said, all right, let's go. 110 days later, Sarah reached $1,009,000. She started to call me the Millionaire Maker. So that's how I got here.
Oh, wow. I love that. Thank you so much for vulnerably sharing the journey and putting it so plainly, honestly, what many people take years to understand, that being great at your craft or taking the courses that teach your craft does not mean that you are well equipped to find clients or to land clients, right? And that's a huge struggle. And I love that the very thing that you identified that you struggled with is what you're helping people with now, which is making the money, but through a different avenue in terms of clearing what's keeping them from getting there. And in a lot of ways, it has to do with that confidence and asking for it, all of the above. So that is a beautiful journey. I love it. So tell us more specifically about the women that you help right now. For somebody that's listening, the story you just shared about the first millionaire made is perfect. Is that the women that you work with specifically are the ones that come in with that specific money goal, or tell me more?
What I'm playing around a lot, and I've hired another coach because that's what we do, right? We hire coaches and we get more wisdom and learning. And I'm playing around with something called a perfect client avatar. And what I particularly like about this is it's this intersection of 4 circles, and in the center is my perfect client avatar. So my perfect client avatar is somebody who is a professional. So like she could be a financial advisor or an architect or a mortgage broker or a marketing professional. She's, I've worked with all sorts of different consultants. she's making a couple of $100,000 a year in revenue, and she's aware of mindset and maybe aware of some therapy and, body code or tapping EFT, but she just hasn't got yet through to that next level, and she's trying to figure it out. So she is somebody who knows that she's in her way, is seeking freedom. She probably is a little bit skeptical about what I'm saying, because it's like, hey, I've got here on my hard work and my effort and my energy and my wisdom, and I respect that. And I'm going to tell you, you've got yourself to a place where it's good. We can, by clearing out what is not serving you, connecting with your true identity, that fierce 5-year-old that you were, when you connect in with her, life changes, relationships change, money situations change, decisions are easier. It is fascinating for me to watch. So while I can identify my perfect client avatar to you, I'm going to tell you, I've worked with people who, I've got a person right now who she's running a nonprofit. I've got 2 people running a nonprofit. Now, they're not a mortgage broker, an architect, or a financial planner, but they are an entrepreneur. And does that help?
Yes, no, absolutely. Yeah. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs resonate with what you just described, that you could pinpoint. I mean, I resonate with that for sure. You can pinpoint that specific one, but it turns out you work with people from different backgrounds, right? And the common denominator really is that transformation that they're seeking out. And it could be different for each of them specifically, right? So I love that. Well, I know you're also an author. Can you speak to that? Because I see the lovely books in the background. For those that are just listening, they can't see it. So let's talk about it.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Would you like to be my next guest on the Empowered Woman podcast? Do you have a story you'd like to share? Want more visibility for your business on a show ranked in the top 0.5% in the world? Well, then head on over to martaspurk.com/podcast guest for more information.
So the first one that's behind me is the blue one, and it's called the Millionaire Codes, and it's the secret brain science path to supernatural success. It is available on Amazon. The story of that one is that was languishing, I love that word, on my PC for 5 years. And then my client, Sarah, the one that I told you about, she came to me and she said, Suzanne, you know what? I really loved she had learned about NLP before she worked with me. She actually took some courses, and she adapted them for herself, and together with the work for me, she started to create NLP techniques that helped her to get to her millionaire status. She goes, you know what? I'm writing a book about my experience of NLP. You're the only expert I know in NLP. What if we combine? And I'm like, oh, please, could we combine? So that's how the first book happened. Is she and I worked together, and we published that book in April of last year, so 2025. And then, because it's so funny, the first time you do something, it feels really, really hard because it's new and you don't know what to do. And then working with her, this is her work, by the way. She runs Thought Leader Academy out of Chicago, Illinois, and she helps women to become authors, and so thought leaders to become authors. And so I thought, well, that was such a great experience, and there was still components that I wanted to share. And I thought, well, I could write a second book. So the next book that came out, and I'm holding it in my hands for those who can't see it, is called The Millionaire Brain: Recode Your Neurology to Create Clarity, Courage, and Confidence. Also available on Amazon. And this one is written a little differently. This one is more the Millionaire Codes is written both our stories, and then a lot of theory about NLP and how we're wired, and then the actual codes, things that you can do to get to your next level. Okay. This book, The Millionaire Brain, is more about almost being sitting in the seat of being my client and having the experience of going through it by reading about how I coach Daisy, and the experience of her change and the questions that are asked and how I do that process. And then I go in and I talk more about other examples of clients who I call, I love gardening. So it's about, there's a poppy and there's a daisy and there's iris. It's very, and yeah, it's fun. And then I talk about a couple of strategies and frameworks that I use. So, and then those are described in the book and with some questions, so that my goal with this one is you can come through it, identify perhaps what's stopping you, and ask yourself these questions, and do some reflective journaling, and have something happen. That would be my goal. It's not just this is how great other people are. This is how great you could be.
Oh, that is beautiful. I love that. And I love getting like the behind the scenes of you coaching someone else and then getting coached on the same hand. That's a very interesting way of going about it. So both of them are amazing, and we'll make sure and link that in the show notes as well. Now, for the women that are listening that are like, all right, I need to understand a little bit more how you work, Suzanne. How do you work? Is it mostly one-on-one? Do they schedule a call with you to have that initial conversation? What are the possibilities?
You did it. Exactly. Schedule a call with me. I'd love to spend time with you to find out how I can help you, if we're a good fit, if you like me, and if I feel like we would be a good fit. And I respect that I'm not for everybody. So that's okay. I might have a resource or a thought for you. I've also been an entrepreneur for 15 years now. So whatever I can do to help or network or stuff like that, I love to connect with people. And then what we do is we schedule session. If somebody wants to come and work with me, I do work with people one-on-one, and we do an intense deep dive. We figure out how your brain's been doing the problem, and what patterns of behavior aren't serving you. What needs to, we're just looking to find out all of the stuff that's, it's sort of like, like we're born these beautiful infants who are perfect. And then as we go through life, we pick up other people's negative thoughts or beliefs or judgments or stuff like that. And what I'm doing is I'm looking to get you back to, well, not that small, but certainly, how you used to feel when you were 5, and you could put the towel. Remember, did you ever do that? Put a towel around your
cape.
The cape, and do anything. And that's what I get my clients back to, is that person. And from that when they get there, they go, oh, so like, for example, and so then we meet together one-on-one for a couple of months, 6 months or a year. And so like one client I was working with, she shared with me last week, she goes, so we were on session three. And I said, okay, so you told me you wanted to post more. How's the posting going on social media? She goes, you know what? It's weird, because for years I battled myself to have to do it. And all of a sudden she did it. That was surprisingly easy. I said, great. I don't talk too much about it at that point. It's like, great, moving on, next thing. So what people notice is their behavior changes almost immediately. And they're like, well, that was easy. And the other thing that she dreaded was picking up the phone and calling people. I don't want to bug them. And then she decided she just wanted to have more fun in life. So then she hung up the phone, and she remembers thinking to herself, well, that was a lot of fun. She went, hey, I decided to have fun. And then it was. And so like, it's, I know that sounds very small, but those little changes over time.
Yeah, they compound. Yeah. No, that's great. Thank you so much for those examples, because that's easy to envision as, especially entrepreneurs, and like you said, the small things that will compound into getting to that first million, right? It's because you're doing the things that seem so hard. And then there's that behavior shift and the reframe that you achieve by working with somebody that has the tools and the knowledge. So
can I tell you a fun little story?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So I was working with somebody 6 years ago, and she refused to post on social media. She refused to do video. And she was a marketing person. She knew she needed to, and her client was on LinkedIn, and she refused to do it. So as we were working together, we had several sessions, and then all of a sudden she goes, Suzanne, this is fun. I hope your listeners are mostly female. She goes, Suzanne, my husband really likes that I'm working with you. And I'm like, great. I don't understand the correlation here, but that's awesome. She goes, yeah, I'm more interested in having sex now. So here's what happened is this woman, I was looking at this woman who was beautiful on the screen, but she didn't think she was attractive. We cleared whatever belief she had that caused her to think that. It was some past trauma. Then she believed she wasn't willing to look at pictures of herself. She wasn't willing to post. She wasn't willing to do videos. So that was cleared. All of a sudden, she was more attractive. That translated into being more attractive in the bedroom. Guess what else it did? It translated into being more attractive to her ideal client in an appropriate way. And her income went from $100,000 to over $1 million in 18 months.
Wow. That's amazing. That speaks for itself. That is so good. And it all starts with that self. Yeah, mic drop with that self-perception. It's incredible, but it's where it all stems from, right? I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that story, because that's even juicier. In so many ways. I love that you put, and she was more attractive in an appropriate way.
Yeah.
Her audience.
Honestly, I can just imagine the calls I'm going to get. Okay, Suzanne, you can help me have sex with my husband. Hang on a second.
Yeah, no. Let's put it into perspective. No, that is great. Oh, I love it so much. Well, before I have you share how people can connect with you and just get on with becoming millionaires with your magic, I like to ask all my guests what I call, conveniently enough, my $1 million question. So this is very, this is very apropos for you, Suzanne. What is an empowered woman to you?
Oh, that woman who no longer shrinks to make herself fit in. She stands out, speaks up, and she is showing up in a way that is perfectly aligned with her true identity. That's an empowered woman.
That is so good. And you said it in such a powerful way, a self-assured way. That was so good. I love it. Well, Suzanne, how can people learn more about your magic? Where do you hang out the most? Give us the D.
Okay. Hang out the most is probably LinkedIn if you want to, but I honestly, it's best to email me, okay. Or don't sign me up to your lists. I'm not interested in that. Please email me, genuine connection with me. I really want to chat with you. Go to my website, Success and Clarity. I hope that you'll put it in the show notes.com and book a call with me, like book a clarity session. Let's have a conversation, get an hour on your calendar. This is for you. I love finding out more about people, and it would be awesome if I could even help you in that hour-long free call.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'll definitely put all of that in the show notes, and I hope people will connect with you on LinkedIn and learn more about your books and everything that you have going on. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Lovely.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this episode empowered you. And if you enjoyed the show, please join the Empowered Woman community on Facebook and share with friends or leave a review on iTunes so more people can discover this empowering message. Until next time, bye.